Milgram's obedience experiment. Today we are going to discuss about the Milgram's obedience experiment. During 1956, a psychologist named Stanley Milgram, he interviewed with the conformity experiments performed by Solomon and Ash. Ash worked hard and demonstrated that the people could easily be swayed to conform the group pressure. In his trial, Mr. Milgram wanted to see how people manage the mass deportation of Jews during World War II and helped spark Milgram's will be going to. The trial of Adolfman Eichmann, who had planned and interested in the topic of obedience. Throughout the trial, Eichmann insisted that he was simply following orders and that he felt no guilt for his role in the mass murder because he had only been doing what his superiors requested and that he had played no role in the decision of exterminate the captives. See, whenever we are following the orders, suppose if the person is in the military, okay, he don't have any interest to kill the other persons, but here what happens, he's supposed to kill the other people. Why? Means he's in a border, so he has to kill the people. And that was he will do. So here, whenever people are doing like this, okay, in this experiment, he did the experiment and he just asked this person, H-man, but he said he followed the orders of superior, so he don't have any guilt. See, here he has done his job. His job is to killing others. So this is called obedience. Why? Means whenever he is killing the people, he don't have any kind of guilt. Why? Means he is following the principle of obedience. So here he is completely with his work. So he killed the people. We can see Milgram had set up of explore the question, our Germans are different, but he soon discovered that the majority of people are surprisingly obedient to authority. See, we already discussed about the thing obedience. Obedience means whatever the command they are receiving from the other people, their superiors, okay, they will listen. Here, Milgram, he is telling that Germans are different. Why? Means they're most of the time, majority of the people, they are ready to listen. And that means they are ready to obey the orders of others. Here, after the horrors of the Holocaust, some people such as Eichmann explained their participation in the autocracy, suggesting that they were just doing they were commanded. Means here there is no personal. Here, whatever the orders they are getting from the superiors, they're following. And Milgram studies even involved placing participants in a room and detecting them to deliver electrical shocks to a learner located in another room. Here, what happened? The participant supposedly receiving the shocks was actually it on the experiment and was merely acting out of responses the imaginary shocks. See, suppose if you started giving shocks, after certain time, if you stop doing that also, but whenever you are switching on and off, people will feel the shocks. That means here what's happening, they are ready to take that, they are obedient towards the shocks. Means their reaction is towards the shocks. Whenever they're not receiving the signals also, but still they're showing the same thing. They're showing the expression of shock. Surprisingly, Mr. Milgram found that 65% of participants were willing to deliver the maximum level of shock on the order of the experiment without receiving the signals, but still these people are expressing the shock. Now we'll discuss about the interpersonal attraction. What is attraction? See, from the social, we are discussing about the social psychology. Any force that draws people together, social psychologists have traditionally used the term attraction. Suppose if you are like, if you started liking something, that means they are grabbing your attention. It may be a friend, it may be a romantic partner, it may be a nature, it may be a book, it may be a knowledge. Here, the interpersonal attraction is traditionally defined in social psychology as a positive attitude or evaluate regarding particular person including the three components. What are the three components? The one is positive beliefs about the person and behavior, and it's a effective manner, means the way the person is approaching the next person. So these are all the reasons of the interpersonal attraction. Now we'll discuss about the interpersonal attitude. The theory suggests that individuals liking for another person is determined by the rewards associated with that individual. When people getting rewarded means events do not have to come directly from the other individual, but rather need to associate with their presence. Now we'll see how this attraction helps others. Psychology refers the attraction theory, which presents personal appearance, proximity, similarity, and the complementary as the four main factors in interpersonal attraction. Most of the social psychologists, the theory describes attraction, describes why we feel attracted to certain people and how we choose friends, how we attracting the rating to other people. See, actually, whenever we are getting attracted towards others, it may be looks, it may be their character, it may be their knowledge, it may be their beauty. So here, towards the attraction, physical attraction, or else it may be a looks of features, or social attraction means physical, which involves being attracted to someone based on their personality, and the task attraction, which involves being attracted to someone based on their abilities. Suppose someone is doing very nicely the works, okay, he's giving nice lecture, or else uh, he's articulating in his speech, he articulated very well. Here, what will happen? Immediately, we like the person. I means here only one thing means we got attracted towards the person. Why? Because they are telling everything, explaining them very nicely. Okay, so this comes under personal attraction. Sometimes we like the person by seeing their abilities. Suppose if you are seeing the person, he's very intelligent, every time he's scoring very well. Why here his ability, intellectual? Because of the intellectuality, we got attracted to his person. And sometimes people are very kind, they have very good helping nature. By seeing the quality, we will get attracted to the person. So sometimes it may be physical attraction, sometimes because of the ability, because of the what do you call the intelligence and all. So these are the reasons for attraction. Now we'll get back to attraction is two-way process involving not only the person who is attracted, but also the attractor. Suppose you started attracting towards a partner. Okay, here what are the theories in this? One is the equity theory towards the attraction. One is the matching phenomenon. Suppose if you are in a psychology group, we got attracted to say psychologist or psychology student because of the knowledge. Here, what's happening? Matching attraction, matching the phenomenon. Mere exposure because of their knowledge or the way they have the exposure towards the thing, towards the knowledge, towards the subject, anything. Physical attractiveness, yes, most of the time it's like a stereotype. It happens in the romantic relation. Yeah, proximity and reciprocity and reinforcement model and social access field. These are the key concepts of the attraction. Now we'll see each and everything. Social exchange theory proposes that the social behavior is the result of an exchange process. The purpose of this exchange is maximizing benefits and minimizing costs. According to this theory, developed social psychologist Mr. George Homans, people weigh the potential benefits and risks of social relationships. Here, how the social thing, this idea, feeling about a relationship depends on perceptions of rewards and costs, the kind of relationship they deserve, and the chances for having better relation with someone else. Suppose if you started liking someone, immediately what you do, you will try to give the more gifts. Okay, by means you want to maintain a very good relation, and their chances for having the better relation with the someone else. Suppose if you don't want to have any kind of relation with the next person, what you do? No, you don't give gifts, you will just keep quiet. But here, social exchange theory, you are expecting some gift, some benefit from that person. Because of that reason, you might be giving a lot of gifts. See, whenever we are doing, we need to check ourselves what exactly we are doing. Okay, what's my expectations towards the person? Why I'm giving lot of gifts? See, suppose you got attracted towards the person because you need some work, you are expecting some work from the person. That might be the reason you are maintaining the relationship, and you might be giving the theory. This is called social exchange theory. Equity theory. The idea that people are happiest with relationships in which rewards and cost experience and both parties and contributions are roughly equal. Yeah, most of the time, whenever you are going along with your friend to a coffee shop or any hotel, you will say, okay, fine, we'll order the lunch. But Dutch means here, whatever doing, you are sharing the bills. So this is called equity theory. Okay, suppose if you are giving some gift to the next person, immediately you do expect something from the person. Okay, see, my best friend purchased gift for me on my birthday. So this time, okay, I had to give. What cost you purchased? Here you always think the equity theory. Okay, fine. Even in the relatives, okay, suppose if they are attending the person function, they said, okay, last time for my family marriage, they almost gave some money. Okay, at the same time, here equity theory applies. Suppose if they are not giving anything, yes, you don't mind to give. Actually, most of the time, whenever people are giving food to the next, what do you call the neighbors, again they will come. They don't want to give the empty plates, empty balls, and all. Again, they fill and they will give. This is a very good example of equity theory. And the major theories addressing the interpersonal attraction have common themes that is called reinforcement. The principle of reinforcement is one of the most basic notions of all psychology. Here, whenever we are talking about this followed, here what happened, interpersonal relationships, most of the principle is one person finds something rewarding in an interaction with another person. Suppose if you started liking the person, immediately what you do, you try to give some, at least the compliments. It costs you nothing. Or else if you like the person, or else you are comfortable with the next person, immediately you try to give smile. See, this is one kind of a interpersonal relationship you are maintaining. So whenever we started a relationship, okay, we always reward the person. That means we'll show the way we establishing the relation. And not only that, we have a desire uh, to get along with the other person. In behavioral terms, this is what is meant by term interpersonal attraction, which emerges in everyday language such as liking, or in the case of deep involvement, loving. Appropriately, these theories based on the notion that individuals are drawn to a relationship that are rewarding and avoid those that are not. See, suppose initially you may start liking the person. Here, whenever you started liking the person with an interpersonal attraction, okay, you care for the person, you observe the person, whenever they need, you help the person. Suppose if you started loving, that means deep involvement with the other person. Okay, whatever the needs. Here, whenever you are in love with the person, here equity theory will not be there. You always give unconditional love. Means here the deep involvement will be there. That is called loving the person. So here, whenever you are rewarding the person, completely go ahead with the positive reinforcement. Only always interpersonal attraction, go with the reward model. Okay, that is the difference between loving and this liking. A simple example of social exchange theory can be seen in the interaction of asking someone out on a date. If the person says yes, you have gained a reward and are likely to repeat the interaction by asking the person out again or by asking someone else out. Here the positive benefits and negative benefits. Suppose if you didn't like the person, okay, immediately the person will say, no, I'm not interested. Here what's happening? Yeah, you won't ask again if the person say no means. Here if the person says yes means again you have an intention, why not? Okay, fine. Again, next time I'll ask the person for a date. Why means here you heard a S word from the person. So you are showing some interest towards the person. That's the reason you're asking. See, whenever we are applying this interpersonal, what do you call the attraction in exchange theory, suppose if you are not getting the way you want the benefits, yes, immediately you stop expressing yourself. You don't get into that. Okay, why not like that? You just stop then and there itself. So that is the beauty of exchange theory. Now we'll see the first and most basic theory of this proposed in early 90s by Don Brainy and Gerald Floor. This is known as the reinforcement effect model of attraction. Here, effect means feeling or emotion. Most of this theory proposes that people will be attracted not only to other people who reward them, but also the people who associate with rewards. Suppose someone is taking a lot of compliments from the other persons, immediately you get attracted to the person. Why? Only one reason. Because you are in the association of the person. Why this girl or this boy is getting a lot of likes? Why not me? By doing what they are getting, this kind of reward. So here you get connected with the person to know their experiences, to know their positive individual characteristics. Here, it is important to recognize that a major implication, okay, that is possible to like someone not so much because of the person himself or herself, but rather as a consequence of that person's merely being part of a rewarding situation. Positive feeling towards the experience itself get transferred to the other person. It also follows the person associates with something unpleasant will tend to be disliked. And this is called indirect reinforcement. Suppose you started liking one person, okay? Suddenly he's shown the other side of the coin. Okay, he's good, he's intelligent, and yeah, he's rich, but he has some kind of a attitude. Immediately here, what will happen? You stop liking the person because of only one reason. Okay, he had this attitude. Okay, but remember, before that, you liked all the characteristics of the person. Here, what's stopping you? This is called reinforcement, indirect reinforcement. He is pleasant by all means. Yeah, I got disconnected because of internet issues. Fine. Now we'll discuss about the theories of attraction. In social exchange theory, how people feel about a relationship depends upon their perception of the rewards and cost of the relationship. The kind of relationships they deserve are their chances for having a better relationship. Suppose someone is started giving reward, pleasing to have our attitudes are validated. Okay, here, most of the time, what we do, whether we like the person or not, immediately we will try to mm, get things. Okay, we'll ask the person, okay, may I get this help from you? What's happening here? So, here we'll see the cost, emotional turmoil, and outcome. Outcome means rewards minus cost. If it is a negative, then we don't get attract with the person. We'll say, okay, fine, I'm not interested. I didn't like the person. Immediately you will say, see here, what is how this reward theory works in attraction. Whose behavior is rewarding to them or whom they associate with rewarding events. Most of the time, and more clearly stated, that means people are attracted to those who, in some way, making them feel good, are attracted to those who remind them of the people that they enjoy being around. Suppose if you started liking one person, you are getting a lot of happiness by the person. So immediately you will show a lot of interest to the person. Why here? What's happening? Being with the person, you are feeling happy. You are good. Your vibes are good. So that it's making you happy. So that is the reward theory of attraction. Whenever we started liking people, we will try to be with them. Suppose, for example, if you are in one experiment during the summer, people who evaluated new acquaintances in a cool and comfortable room liked them better than when in a hot and uncomfortable room. Suppose now summer started. If people are asking you to stay in a hot room, okay, how do you feel? Suppose that room is not that good, it's not comfortable, and next to you, even if your favorite actor or actress is there also, you don't feel comfortable. You don't like to spend more time because the room is giving uncomfortableness. So you will stop talking to the person, you don't react, these things will happen. Suppose if you are in a good place, okay, with strangers, suppose they ask you to show some pictures and they ask you to see the pictures also. Here you don't mind, you will see the photographs, you will enjoy because that room is nice and they're giving a lot of what you call preference to you. You will see the photographs and you will comment. Here what's happening, reward theory. But here you are with the person, room is uncomfortable, but you are with the person whom you like, but still you are not uncomfortable being with the person because that room is uncomfortable. See here, whenever we are with the person, when we are with the people, also we have to see what are the surroundings and how this impact. That's the reason reward theory always will see outcome minus cost. Here, uncomfortable, that is the cost because that room is not good. That too, it's in hot, that room making you more hot. So these are the findings will give you, even if you're seeing the married couple, okay, their relationship and weekend trip, if they left the what do you call children and they are into a very good restaurant, they will enjoy, they will enhance their feelings for each other. Suppose they are with the kids, okay, they are in good place, but kids are making a lot of noise. Here they don't have any scope of enjoyment. Here they need to take care of the kids. So here what happened, they don't feel any kind of attraction towards each other. They always fight. I mean, not exactly the fighting thing, but they always argue with each other. I'll take care of this kid, you take care of that. Kids will order something and they eat something else. The total mood will be disappointed. So they don't enjoy. Here, that means whenever people are getting reward, what is the outcome? We need to calculate everything.
A third model of attraction, equity theory, extends social exchange theory. This approach suggests that it is an essential to take an account how both parties involved in a relationship assess the costs and benefit. See here, as a father and mother both are involved, here people are sharing the experience, sharing the things. Means one kid they are feeding, the other kid someone is feeding. Suppose one man is enjoying with the food, the woman needs to take care. What happens here? They spoil the relation. Okay, here one person is enjoying, the other person is taking bearing the charge. So that relation, no. Here equity theory won't work. And even social exchange theory also no. So here what happening? Only one person is benefiting. After certain time, they may lose the interest. Attraction may calm down. When each person believes that his or her own ratio of cost benefit is fair, then attraction between the two tends to be promoted. On the other hand, a relationship may place jeopardy if one person thinks the time, effort, and other resources being invested are justified, while the other person does not feel that way. Then what will happen? That relationship will go off. So that is the beauty of interpersonal attraction. Mr. Arthur and Aaron examined the degree to which a shared humorous experience during the first encounter between the strangers. What happened? Actually, it leads to closeness. By means they started the humorous thing. So suppose in this study, same the stranger pairs participated together in a series of tasks that were designed either to generate a great deal of humor or to be enjoyable but not humorous. Here, what happened after completing the task? Here, they acted as a participation. Okay, here the feelings will calm down because they are into the work pressure. So here they don't build any kind of interpersonal attraction. I mean, so what exactly you are working, how is your influence? That is more important. Now we'll discuss about the influence. Many factors will say influence whom people are attracted. They include the important thing, physical attractiveness and proximity. The other thing is similarity and reciprocity. Suppose even if reciprocity is not there, no, we don't get into the influence. What is the physical attractiveness? Physical attractiveness means it might be into a romantic attraction primarily, or else it may get into the attracted to partners whom they consider to be physically attractive. Men are more likely to value physical attractive than women. Women may get attracted by seeing like wealth or the intelligence or humorous or kindness or else the way they are speaking, even for the respect. But studies are saying that men most of the time they get attracted by physical attractiveness. People perceptions of their own physical attractiveness also plays a role in romantic love. That's more important. And the proximity. Whenever we are discussing about the proximity, here, people are more likely to become friends with people who are geographically close. One explanation for this is exposure effect. Actually, Mr. Mary exposure effect, it refers people tendency to like novel stimuli more if they encounter them repeatedly. Suppose if you are seeing the same person day in, day out, what will happen? You develop some kind of attractiveness towards the person. That is called proximity. Similarity. Here, people tend to pick partners who are similar to themselves, like their characteristics, age, sex, race, religion, sometimes yes, opposite, social class, personality, education, and their attitude and intelligence. Sometimes even the passions or else hobbies also. Okay. Whenever people are having the same kind of similar issues, they will acknowledge each other and they'll become friends. And yeah, if it is like opposite sex, they may become partners also. I mean, this is a simple, it's very simple because they have easy access to each other. Yeah. Reciprocity. Whenever we are discussing about the reciprocity, People tend to like, otherwise who reciprocates like it. Suppose if you started expressing love towards someone, if the person is again expressing in the same manner, here reciprocity will build. You start liking towards the person. Suppose if you're always expressing the love, that person is not responding, what will happen? One day you will exhaust, you don't say anything, because the reciprocity is not there. Even it happens in any relation. So that's the important. Now, kinds of romantic love. Researchers have proposed that romantic love includes two kinds of love. One is the passionate love, other one is the compassionate love. Actually, when passionate love happens, involves absorption in another person. It might be a physical desire, intimate relation, or tenderness, or it might be very intense emotion. When our compassionate love happens, involves warmth, trust, tolerance of another person. Actually, this compassionate love is sometimes considered to have two components, that is the intimacy and commitment. And now, how the intimacy will happen? It is very warm and it's very close. You feel with each other, very close with each other, and sharing aspect of relationship. Now we'll come back to the commitment. Whenever the commitment is there, okay, here the relationship continues even in the face of difficulties also. Why means here these two people committed with each other. If they are facing the difficult situation also, they'll try to help each other. So here commitment always help the person uh, to build this more stability in the relationship. Even the research states the same thing. Now, attachment styles. What is the attachment style? See here, most of the researchers, what they studied, most of the childhood attachment styles about the relationships. Suppose if the mother and father, they started loving each other, they're very caring each other. These things kids will learn from infants itself. So they fall for it. Okay, whenever they see their partner, they will express the same kind of love. This is called attachment. Suppose mother and father are very detached, they don't care for each other, and they live under the same roof, and they do things, they're very practical. Yes, kids may absorb the same qualities. That is what research is saying. Definitely your childhood attachment style affects on your style of living, style of interpersonal reaction. Even in attachment style, researchers have found that people in many different cultures place a high value on mutual attraction between the partners, even the kindness, that quality also they will see. If the person is very intelligent, yes, they may fall for it. That is one kind of attachment style. And emotional stability. And if the person is more dependable, we love to take care of each other. And if the person having a good health, yes, that is also one kind of thing. People will try to get more attached. What are the evolutionary perspectives we have? Here, whenever evolutionary psychologists they speculate that the tendency to be attracted to physically attractive people is adaptive. Many cultures value particular aspects of physical attractiveness, such as facial symmetry or a small waist to hip ratio. See, these are the evolutionary psychologists. They did their research and they're saying this. Okay. Yeah, this is all about your interpersonal attraction. Any doubts here? I think Arisha, are you there? Hello. Okay, fine. Yeah, now we'll go back and we'll see the next chapter. Just 433. Now we'll discuss about unit 7, that is social process. In social process, we'll discuss about the attitudes and theory of attitudes, how the prejudice works. Actually, what is this social attitude? Alport observed that attitudes are the most useful and an important concept in social psychology. Why? Whenever you're showing some attitude towards something, okay, towards the object or towards the person, towards the topic, towards the concept, or towards the institution or political party, or towards the filmy also. It completely depends on your attitude. Here, the attitude means influence, the way in which he or she perceives and she responds towards the situation. That is called attitude. Here, psychologists have developed different theories to explain formation and change of attitudes. Here, the most important theories are consistence theories. The consistence theory proposes that attitude change occurs when an individual becomes aware that their attitude and actions are not consistent. Suppose if the person is believing that cigarette smoking is not good and he has the habit of smoking. Here, what's happening? He or she experiences inconsistency due to the contradiction. His belief is something, whatever he is doing is something. So he is contradicted towards his own statement. Here, what happens? Therefore, the person tries to make the attitude and accent consistently. Here, consistency theories says two things. One is the Hayes balance theory. Here, the person needs to balance, or else first thing is cognitive dissonance theory. Here, what we have to do is another important concept covers the black is prejudice. Okay, here people will say the negative judgment and they form the opinion with the group. Knowledge of facts. Here, the fact is what? Smoking is injurious to health, cigarette smoking. But what here he's doing, he is doing or she is doing. So he have the prejudice. Now we'll discuss about the attitudes. Suppose if you are someone asked the question like how the terrorism works, or prenatal sex, or demonstration, or how it's if you are everything linked with Aadhaar card. Here you may tell your opinion towards that. But here what happening depends on your attitude. Okay, you may give the answer. Here, social psychologists will say your attitudes prevails throughout the field. Means whatever the attitude you are expressing, most of the time it may be positive or negative. But it's completely depends on the person's views, given the place, and he will think that event. Then only he will express his attitude. Suppose if the person is in this function, okay, whether the person likes the other another person or not, he will say, okay, fine, I'm good and all. He will smile and all. Okay, suppose if the person is in a funeral, here he needs to change the event. Suppose if he wants to laugh, also no, he can't laugh. He may smile without smiling, showing like without lip movement. Here, what's happening? The person needs to smile, but he needs to follow certain characteristics here. Attitude. Okay, why means here the event is demanding like that. This is completely the person to person. Here, sometimes people may possess the positive and negative attitudes also towards the question, towards the event. Suppose if you did not like the person, okay, the attending the function, here what you do, you will show some less interest, you will try to come out of that. Suppose someone asks the person, okay, fine, at the time of abortion, I have a cake cutting plan. Here, people will say, what is this nonsense? Few people will say, hey, what's nothing wrong? She's happy, so she's doing that. See here, your response is completely, it's an individual basis. Okay, this is completely your object, and this is completely your issue. So here, based on that, your attitude will come. So now we'll see the attitude definition. Social psychologists use the term attitude to refer people's evaluation of almost any aspect of the world. Okay, even Mr. Wilson, Kendrick 2008 and Petty Wheeler and Tornala 2003, they use this word. Mr. Alport 1935, he defines attitude is a mental or neutral state of readiness organized through experience exerting a directive influence upon the individual response. Okay, so here depends on your this thing, you will respond. Suppose if you it see if the person is opinion statement is he's showing some dislikes, yes, he will show because of his idea, his affinity, and his suppose if he have aversion towards the people or towards the things, he will show that because that is his attitude towards that event, towards that idea, towards the people. That was Mr. Voinske Sam 1977. He defined that the attitude as a readiness to respond in a favorable and unfavorable manner to a particular object. Okay, that means attitudes have topic or object. Sometimes it may be judgmental or evaluative. Suppose you did not like the thing, like at the time of abortion, cake cutting. Here, what we'll say, hey, what is this nonsense? Here, what you're doing, you are judgmental. You're saying, you're reluctantly, you're saying no to that. Okay, that is what Mr. Askam is saying that, yeah, this is your readiness to respond, favorable or unfavorable. Sometimes, yeah, the readiness to respond is long time. Few people, they don't say anything. Okay, fine. It's not my cup of tea. She invited, I attended. Just we're having a party, we get together. Okay, fine. They'll take very light. So these things will happen whenever we are discussing about the attitude. Here, what are the components in attitude? See, we will see three components. This is called ABC model. Whenever we are discussing about the attitude, you can easily remember the thing, ABC model. A stands for affect, how the feelings and emotions evoke. Suppose by seeing a snake, how people will react. Yeah, definitely we have the fear element in our body. So here, by seeing the snake, what's the feeling evoke from you? Fear. Suppose if you're seeing a beggar, he's having torn clothes and no food and he's very weak. Immediately what will happen? Sympathy will come. Why? Because that is the effect you have by seeing the person. Suppose you saw a person, yeah, he's a terrorist. Okay, the person said, okay, he's a terrorist, Immediately what will happen? You remember the incident. He might be killed 100 people in some incident. You will remember, you start hating the person. So here you are directly not at all connected with the person, but listening the person by the name, you have a feeling of what is the effect? Hatred. So that is the effect by seeing the person or by seeing the incident. So this is called effect. So attitude is completely depends on the effect. Next, behavior. Behavior tendency to act in a certain ways towards something. Actually, most of the time we observe. Okay, people may tend to use beauty products to lighten their skin tone. See here, what's happening? You're seeing the products. You'll think that, okay, your behavior is a, the product she's acting. The ad is there from many years. See the rating. That means many people are using. Here, towards the thing, your behavior will decide. Oh, fine, you observed. So you decide, okay, this is a good thing because of rating I'm doing. Or else one of your best friend using her skin is really good. You think that, oh, fine, this is the element I have to use. So immediately you'll get into that. So these are the things we'll consider and we'll get ahead. Next, cognition. Cognition means our thoughts, beliefs, and ideas about something. Sometimes it makes no difference whether the information is accurate or not. See here, suppose if you are saying some people believe in the stereotype, fairness is beautiful. Okay. Suppose if the girl looks boy, he's very fair color, he will say that, hey, immediately towards that he's beautiful or she's, yeah, he's handsome, she's beautiful. So here you're forming the attitude. So this is called ABC model. Attitude, object, information or cognitive component, or affective or emotional component, or behavioral component. These three things plays a role. Next, how attitude will form. How do attitudes will develop? Here, most of the people hold their attitudes about the aspects of our culture. Okay, here attitude formation through classical conditioning. How the classical condition will happen? The first process uses a basic principles of psychology. Okay, when a stimulus that is capable of producing a positive resonance, that is the unconditioned stimulus, regularly precedes a second stimulus, that is the conditional stimulus. The first becomes signal for the second. For instance, suppose a college student may not show any emotions response to a new pen that he or she purchased. But however, if it's happened each time, he or she wrote his pen exams. Okay, after purchasing the particular with the same particular pen, he's getting a high score. Okay, immediately here they form a attitude. How they will frame, okay, this pen is very lucky for me. So whenever I'm writing the exams with this pen, I'm getting good score. So here classical condition happened. Why? Because he formed a attitude. He's feeling happy by writing by using that pen because he's getting very good marks. Same thing. Suppose if you see any marketing guy, whenever he's wearing a dress, if he gets good sales for that day, he will think that, oh my God, this is lucky for me. So here you are forming an attitude towards your dress. So that is called classical conditioning. And attitude formation through instrumental conditioning. Here, what happens whenever you are learning something in which responses that leads to positive rewarding outcomes, or that instrument is in avoiding negative or aversive outcomes. Here, what will form? Suppose is a student is studying regularly, gets high marks, wins a prize, and appreciated by his parents for his grades. Okay, here he develops a positive attitude towards studying regularly. Okay, suppose the same boy he got addicted towards the drugs. Okay, so what happened? Immediately he's getting low score. Here, what people will say, hey, this person is getting low score. He's fit for nothing because he got addicted. Here, what's happening? This is also instrumental conditioning in the negative manner. Here, what's happening in the first scenario? Parents are praising because instrumental conditioning, because of his marks. Every time, whenever parents are meeting some new friends or what do you call the get-togethers and all, my son is so and so. Here, what's happening? Here, he got instrumental conditioning, his marks. So he will get positive attitude towards that. So that whenever he is getting scores, okay, completely he will form a positive opinion on studies and he will do very well. Even the drugs, that means everyone is saying wrong, wrong, wrong. Suppose if the person is having drugs also, what will say? He will immediately close and he don't share with anybody. So this is all instrumental conditioning. Yeah, and one more thing. Suppose one lady is there, she's always posting with the feminine side of a thing. So people will call her as a feminist. Why? She's always trying to give a lot of information towards the woman in a positive way. So here, people are calling her because this is the instrumental conditioning. Next, we'll discuss about the observation learning towards the attitude formation. Here, a third means which attitudes are formed can operate even when direct rewards for acquiring or expressing those attitudes are absent. Actually, this is called observation learning. Actually, this theory is done by Mr. Bandura in 1977. Here, when individuals acquire attitudes or behavior simply by observing others. In classical conditioning, he is forming. Okay, here in observational conditioning, the person is seeing them someone and he started liking the things, or by using some products, he's getting very good benefit. So here, acting positively towards the product. Suppose one person is very weak, he started taking everyday Horlicks. Okay, after certain time, he feels that he's energetic. So whenever he's seeing the people in, like, what you call the big bodies, immediately say, "Hey, don't worry about that. You have this Horlicks." I mean, he got the benefits in a positive manner. So he'll say this. What is this called? Observational learning. Based on that, he formed an attitude. Sometimes, yeah, suppose if you're sick, if you met a doctor, there is no benefit out of the benefit medicine. Immediately people say, don't go to that place. One means he's not that good doctor. So these are the things always happens. So we need to check how we are doing, how others are working. So this is called observation learning. Yeah, I think we can wind up the session. Next thing is attitude changing frustration. Yeah, I'll discuss in the next class. Arisha, this is unit 8. Okay, we discussed about the ABC model and attitudes, how we can form the attitudes. Any doubts here? No, ma'am. Okay, fine. Bye. Good day. See you in the next week. Bye.